Hello, welcome to RC Video Reviews. I finally got a chance to re-maiden my XR-52. You know, I bought this plane and did a maiden flight on it months and months ago, and during the maiden I had a little bit of an incident with the drone. I landed the camera drone near the plane, and instead of shutting off, it took off again and clipped the bottom of the wing and messed up a little bit of the covering. So I've repaired that now. Everything is patched on the bottom, and I'm finally ready to get out and maiden this plane again. I also rehung the rudder and I changed the ESC because on my second flight on this plane, I really didn't like the way the ESC sounded. It sounded like I was getting some pulsing. So I swapped it out for another one. But other than that, the plane is ready to go. I'm going to do one last control systems check and we're going to fly this thing finally. So right now I expect right aileron to go up, and it does. I expect left to go up, it does. I expect the elevator to come up, and it does. I expect it to go down, and it does. I expect right rudder, and I've got it. Left rudder, and I've got it. We're ready to fly. I do have an S6R in this plane, but I won't use it on today's flight because I really am not very familiar with the plane. I've only gotten it up and down, and the time I did fly it, it was very windy, so I only flew a few laps and I got it down on the ground pretty quick. Now the good news is on this plane, I know the balance is right, I know the motor works, I know the servos work, so all of those kind of maiden checks have already been completed. I will be flying this on low rates because on high rates this thing is beast mode. Look at that. So yeah, until I get familiar with the plane, I'm not going there. All right, the wind is coming from my left, so we're going to do a right to left takeoff. All right, there's a look at the wind. It's coming straight down the runway. There's a look at the flag. Straight down the runway, but it's not too hard and it's not blustery, so this should work out okay. All right, here we go. Man, these really light planes are so twitchy on the controls. I forgot about that. Expo is the name of the game with this. All right, I think I have it flying relatively flat now, so I'm just gonna do a couple laps. But yeah, man, it is definitely a little bit twitchy. That's about half throttle, and boy, it gets along pretty good. This is a 4-cell 2650, and it is a nanotech battery. I need to land this and get some more expo because I'm just not feeling it right now. I need to get some expo on these control surfaces. I need a little bit of help. Maybe it's just my thumbs. Haven't flown fixed wing sport planes in a little while, but I would like to get a little bit of help with expo. So I'm gonna land theoretically and do that. All right, throttle's locked. Let's add some expo. All right, I've got some expo dial, a little more expo added. I was at 30 and I brought it up to 40. So I'm going to take off again and see if that calms things down a little for me. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, that's definitely helpful. All right, I think it's flying pretty straight. I'm gonna climb and do my yaw test. Just kill the power and see which way it drops the nose, and it doesn't drop it either direction. It's straight down, so we're good there. I've already got it trimmed for level, so I'm just going to do a few laps, try and get some stick time with this plane, and then we'll land it. Yeah, these precision aerobatic planes are absolutely beautiful, but they're so light, and on a very windy day like this, you really kind of have to work the sticks a little bit. Like I said, it does have a stabilizer, but I'm not going to use that as a crutch. My theory is I need to be able to fly the plane first, and if I can fly the plane, then I'll worry about using stabilizers and other things to help me out. Well, it's very light on the sticks, I can tell you that. Doesn't take much to turn it, and I've got my rates very sedate. And for sport flying, it's doing just fine. I'll put a picture in post of my current setup so you guys can see that. And then another thing that I have going on that I really am kind of annoyed about is I somehow managed to turn on haptic feedback for throttle center. So every time I cross the middle, my radio is buzzing in my hand. Not a big fan of that. That will be turned off when I get back on the ground. All right, I'm gonna fly by into the wind going low so you guys can get a better look at the plane, and then I'm gonna work on doing some approaches and getting it on the ground. It's a very light airframe, so that makes it very subject to the whims of the wind. I think definitely better for a calm day unless you're highly experienced on this one. All right, I'm going to bring the throttle down and see if I can get this thing on the ground without too much drama. There we go. All right, guys, that wraps up my re-maiden of the Precision Aerobatics XR-52. I know that wasn't a great maiden video, but I have to tell you there are a couple of things that worked against me here. Number one, I haven't been flying sport planes in quite a while. I've been doing a lot of FPV and quad work, so I haven't done the sport flying. The second one is this is such a light airplane that even with a modest amount of wind, I could still really feel it. So my thumbs were kind of going a little bit, to be honest with you. So I think discretion is the better part of valor. I just took a few laps, made sure everything flew okay and that it was trimmed and flew straight and level. I'm happy with that. So now what I'll do is get out some more, do a little bit more sport flying, and get this thing back up on a little bit of a calmer day. Hey, if you like this kind of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when new material hits the channel. That's all I've got for today. Take it easy.